This is Opinions with Alex, and with me are my panelists, Death Alpha and Christian. I'm Alex.
I'm Christian.
And I'm Death Alpha.
Today we are going to be comparing Windows and Mac. Personally, I do not like Macs. Now my panelists here may think otherwise. State your opinions.
Well, for Macs, I really don't like them either, because it's just because it looks good, it doesn't mean it's good inside. Because then we have, it's very complex, you know? Because, first of all, if you want to get a Windows computer, you can easily modify it. You don't have to call the Mac people to open it up for you. Because right there in the laptop, all the stuff's in it. The RAM, the graphics card, everything's in it. So, if you were to have a Windows at least, you can just do it yourself. Anyone can do it. Anyone can open up the computer, take the RAM out, and put a new one in. It's a lot easier. And one famous thing that everyone can say is, we can Windows can right click and Macs can't.
Well, they can, but Mac.
They can, but it's
not
just
default.
Default is only left click, so they have to go to the options and change it. Windows, they have their own thing called Microsoft Office. You see Apple having on there called Apple Word, Apple PowerPoint, Apple or Apple Office. See, they had to get from Microsoft to the Mac. That's just lame.
Yeah, but the point is they still have it.
I just find Windows better because they can play games and Macs can't. Windows have a good gaming capabilities, and Macs it has shitty capabilities, as you can see that. And what type of stuff on the keyboard? Control, Option, Command. What type of stuff is that?
Instead of just adding a simple right click, they freaking use a bunch of key combinations to compensate for it.
That's ridiculous. Come on.
Hey, just because it's different doesn't mean it's freaking better.
Yeah, and if we're all say MacBook Air, MacBook Pro, what's the point? It's all the same shit anyway. It's better performance.
I believe the only reason they got fired is because of the marketing. No one wants to buy that.
Because mainstream, pretty good for them. They don't understand the true good of Mac. As we also say that Alienwares are $2,000, right? And then we have a decent Mac, which is $2,500. Which one was better? You either have a Alienware that can do anything, even gaming capabilities, a Mac that's a more expensive and shitty and decent effect. So I think
you don't like Macs because it let us down.
You don't buy a Mac for gaming though. You buy it to do work. You don't buy a Mac and expect.
You can work on the Windows. Hey,
you don't buy. Yeah, but no, you don't. No. You don't buy a Mac and expect to play games on it.
Well, excuse me. If you were going to do work anyway, the better option would be the Alienware because the Mac is more expensive, and the Alienware is good at everything. And the Mac is good only at work.
Basically, the Mac freaking costs heaps more. Why would you buy this? You can buy this high-priced Mac and you can buy a better PC for the same price, a much better PC.
Exactly. So that's the whole point. But Chris is like, no, I want to do some stuff. Ridiculous.
Why would you buy if you're not going to play? If you're deprived of all those things.
You might as well get an Alienware to play.
Yeah, but the thing is, with Windows, it crashes a lot.
Crashes a lot.
You can get viruses and stuff.
Yeah, just because Mac antivirus doesn't mean it's better. Something called an antivirus program. Have they heard of it? I think me and Mac have never heard of it.
Because Mac doesn't need an antivirus.
Mac is still a victim to viruses, alright? And even Aleks, remember last day in IT, you kept crashing?
Yeah.
That was a good example right there.
Yeah.
And sometimes you can, when it comes to saving work, the Mac becomes very useless shit. If you save the work, it will delete the work instead. Very, very bad, isn't it? So, I think I've stated my opinion. I'll just summarize up again. Mac is crap, Windows is better. I think all I have to do.
Yeah, I agree with you on some points, but I think Windows should only be used if you're looking for a gaming experience. Then you don't buy a Mac, you buy Windows.
Well, excuse me, you can
but if you want to do
and working, mate.
If you want something that you can easily carry around, if you want something easy to carry around, the
Mac is meant for work. It's so unreliable when it comes to saving work. So
it is reliable if you save every 10 seconds.
Save every 10
like
seconds.
I do.
People don't have time to do that. They're in a rush for business and everything. Alright?
It only takes less than a second to save.
Sometimes it crashes when you save, you know.
No, it doesn't. Mine hasn't.
Listen, Windows, alright? Windows. It's good for working and playing. That's both.
Alright. Obviously, both operating systems have their fault, but I just personally like Windows more. It suits me more.
Yeah, I like the Windows more too. I just don't like the Mac.
I
don't mind using Mac, but I just use it anyway because it's better than nothing, I guess, in some points.
I'm just sort of something about the Mac that just puts me off it.
Yeah, just
maybe because of how it's just. Yeah,
I don't mind using my Mac because I don't bother playing games on it, trying to install games, trying to pirate games on it. It's impossible. That's why I use my Windows for all that because it's way easier. My Mac I do work on. It's like it's easy to boot up. It's really fast. You just log in within 5 seconds of opening it, and then you can have like a Word document open, Aspire open within 10 seconds.
You can still do that for Windows if you want.
I got my Windows 98 to do that.
Exactly. Any operating system.
It takes ages to boot up a Windows.
Still good quality, man. The more time it takes, the better the quality. You want to get something fast, quickly done in some shitty job, alright?
Alright. So in conclusion, basically, I do not really like Macs. I'm not a fan of them. I favor Windows more. You guys?
I favour more of the Windows side because basically more in your opinion like thing. I just don't like Macs. It's not reliable, and Windows is more reliable, and it has both working capabilities and gaming capabilities, which is pretty good. So either way, you win-win with the Windows, but you lose-win with the Mac. So in that somewhat of a manner.
I think both operating systems have their pros and cons. And I don't mind using a Mac, I don't mind using a Windows. It just depends what's there at the time and what I want to do on those things.